Hi, this is Lisa again. In this video, we're going to talk about how to find the domain and range if you're given the graph of a function. Okay, so in example number 1 in this video, it's example number 5 for some of you in your notes. This graph is indeed a function. For each x value, we have one and only one y value that corresponds with the graph. Our domain are all of the x values. So we want to know how far to the left does this graph go and how far to the right does the graph go. And if I look at my line, if I think about tracing this line, my line keeps going all the way to the left. Okay, it's going all the way towards negative infinity. And how far to the right does it go? Well, if I keep tracing my graph, it keeps going farther and farther to the right. So it's going towards positive infinity. Here I am using interval notation because there are no gaps or break, there are no individual points. It's every single value from negative infinity to positive infinity. And I'm going to erase that. And remember, domain is all the x values. Range are the y values. So when I want to think about my range, I'm going to look at all of the y values. And I'm always going to do range from the bottom to the top. I want the smallest numbers to the largest numbers. So my range, if I think about this, again, this graph, when I look at it, it is going farther and farther downwards. So it's going all the way down towards negative infinity. In the other direction, it keeps going up higher and higher and higher. It's going up towards positive infinity. So again, when we talk about domain, we're going from left to right. How far to the left does the graph go? How far to the right does the graph go? Smallest numbers to biggest numbers. And the range, we're always going from the lowest point, if there is one, to the highest point. We're going from the bottom of the graph to the top of the graph. And if there is no bottom, we say negative infinity. And if there is no top, if it keeps going, we say infinity. For our second example here, this graph, we actually call this a parabola. And it's not drawn quite right in your notes, but it would keep going out towards the left, and it would keep going out towards the right if it were to go on forever. So in our domain, again, we're going all the way to the left, we're going all the way towards negative infinity, and we're going all the way towards infinity. It keeps getting wider and wider and wider, spreading out both to the left and to the right forever. Our range, on the other hand, if we look at this graph, our range, the graph keeps going downwards. It keeps going down forever. On both sides, it is going to be going down towards negative infinity. However, it does have a highest point, or a highest or biggest y value. Okay, so the highest point, it looks to me like it is at, oh, it looks like this value is at 6 on the graph. So at 6 we have a point, and here we are going to use a square bracket to say that the number 6 is included in our range. We use parentheses when the numbers are not included, like when we're approaching something like infinity or negative infinity. But if we have an actual point that has a y value equal to a certain number, we're going to put that with a bracket. And that's how you find the domain and range if you're given a graph. And there is a note at the bottom of your notes that says, remember, the x values go from left to right, and the y values go from the bottom to the top of the graph. And that concludes this video.